or should I say tonight. Well, it's a beautiful day outside. So, Edison, what were you doing after all this happened, my friend?
Well, I came here as part of a UN peacekeeper force. We were sent over with scientists to try and figure out a cure for these zombies. And back in England, they don't even call them zombies. They're just infected. Like it's just some simple disease. We were sent over to guard the scientists as they concocted something. You don't see any scientists left around, so that tells you about how effective they were. The best cure I found for these things is a bullet. We got here, we got everything set up. We weren't prepared in no way, shape, or form. Those things, they just swarmed us. And I'm not seeing another one of the guys from there. Since I think I might have been the only one out of there.
How did you make it out alive?
I shot, I pissed myself, and I ran like a scared little girl. I ain't gonna lie.
Same. I think I would have pissed myself too. I think anybody would do the same, my friend. But I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have someone here like you in our group, my friend. That's all I can say.
Well, I'm glad you'll have me.
Well,
What
before
about
all this
you?
shit happened, it was just I used to work for the sheriff's department in Polk County. I used to be a sheriff. After the infected attacked us, I was hanging out with my buddy in a party. They broke through the houses, the doors, infected, bit people. People turned. Holy hell, I even got killed my own friends. The worst part of it was that I had to kill my little niece because she turned.
Damn.
That's horrible.
I'm
Then I
sorry,
went
man.
town to towns trying to survive. Couldn't find nothing. Nothing to eat. Nothing to drink. I was struggling. I was alone for at least a whole year. Then I came across my friend Brandon. That's behind us. That's barricading
No,
our
that's
base.
my government.
Or we should call him Ghost because he's Ghost Recon.
Over here, telling everybody my government.
But yeah, it was pretty rough. I was out here surviving, surviving, trying to stay alive. I seen friends being zombies. Well, I should say infected. This is where I met you guys. What
Uh,
happened to you before all this happened?
well, originally, the plan was for me, the
Hold on.
wife, and kid to come here
No, I might
to
just take this one, alright,
as
bro?
vacation
Alright, sure.
for my
Um,
wife's roots, really. And what ended up happening was that we didn't know about the whole infection. We thought it was just a simple little virus, like a common cold going around. No, we start seeing all the undead or the infected started coming and biting. We went to try to make it to one of the UN bases for their scientists. Edison, I know the outpost where you were at. Me, my wife, and my kid, we were trying to make it there when I saw it get overwhelmed. I went to turn them back as fast as I could, but the wife said if we run, we can make it. I knew we wouldn't. I told them we couldn't, so I grabbed them both and I pulled them away, but not before they got bit. I ended up having to put my own family in sterile graves.
If you
Being my
could
own
have just
son.
pushed a little harder, just a little harder, maybe you could have survived with your whole family.
Maybe, but that didn't happen. Life plays a cruel joke on you whenever you get your hopes up. I thought I had them in the clear and safe. I was wrong. And now it's just all wrong. I'm gonna
So
go see
Paul,
if
you
he
want
can
to
use
put
my
your
phone.
part in this story, or?
It's my turn.
Yes, it is, my friend.
Alright. Well, I guess I should start. First off, my name. Some people, they call me Paul. Others, they call me Ace. Normally because I usually hold the cards in the palm of my hands. Play 'em right, you either come out lucky or unlucky. But for me, I wasn't so lucky. It started off when just me having to be with my sister and my father. But things weren't always as peachy as a normal family should be. After our mother had left, our dad became more sporadic, grew a drinking problem. And then after that it got worse, where he would hit my sister when I'm not around. I came home one day, seeing bruises as she was sitting on the front porch crying. I asked her every second, who did this to you? Trying to hold back the rage that I was feeling. She wouldn't tell me. Days go on, till it came to the weekend, and as soon as I almost opened the front door with my key, I heard screaming. I rushed in, went to the room where I heard the screams, and come to find out that my father, sick bastard, tried to rape my sister. At that moment I felt nothing but pure rage and anger. Grabbed the nearest lamp and bashed it over his head, repeatedly, over and over, until he bled. Just saying, that just makes me more angry. But trying to get that horrific thought out of my sight, I grabbed my sister, and then we fled the scene. I went to the nearest bank, pulled out all the money from my father's savings account, and me and my sister had fled, trying to make a new life for ourselves. It was going good. We came here, we managed to find jobs and managed to support and help each other. But then one day she got sick, so sick that she had to get medical attention immediately. So I took her to the nearest hospital. When I talked to the doctors after she had got examined, they said that she had cancer. But it wasn't terminal, so she could have been treated still. I had enough money to pay for the operation and the procedure. Said it would take about a week, so I did what I had to. Gave the money, and then the operation was going. About the week passed, the doctor said that she was able to make a full recovery, and she could be discharged on the same day. And that's when it happened. As soon as I left my house to go pick up my sister, that's when I saw the nearest neighbor getting chewed out. I rushed to my car quickly, managed to get away from the other affected that tried to hound my car, and drove to the hospital as fast as I could. So, opened the door and got my sister out. The doctor tried to come with us, but come to find out he was bitten and then started turning right before our very eyes. So, I took my sister and we ran fast as we could down the stairway and tried to get to the back entrance. But then there was too many starting to crowd the hospital. Barricaded ourselves right behind the door, trying to block it. And then my sister, she got scratched by one of them as I was trying to barricade the door. And then instantly, we got out of there. We managed to try to find a town nearby, and well, we couldn't get far because of the fact that she started coughing up blood. I looked at my sister. She looked at me back, saying that it's okay. You know what happens. She told me she knew what I had to do. She grabbed a gun that she managed to take from the police cruiser while we were heading to the town. It was the only form of protection we had, but she gave me the gun. It said, I don't want to be one of them. I couldn't stand her looking at the tear of her eyes, but she smiled when she said that because she knew the last moment of her days was to spend time with her only brother that looked out for her. So there I was, having a gun in my hand. And then I pulled the trigger. And then she was dead.
That's very heartbreaking, man. I'm sorry you had to kill your sister, dude. Happened to the best of all of us.
You're telling me it was transmitted through a scratch? I thought it was only through bites.
We thought it was the bite at first. But it turns out that the disease is so bedridden and so sporadic. Just one scratch can even do you in.
Damn.
I forgot to mention, I had this one friend. He was with me for a while. He only lasted 5 weeks out in the wilderness. He wasn't as tough as I was. He was holding his own though. It reminds me because it was heavy raining like this.
Yeah.
I wish your friend could have survived.
I agree.
But after that situation, I managed to go up into the town that was luckily having a lot of groups there. They had food, they had shelter, and had good people. Managed to hold up there for a while, but just like my cards, until you try to play them right, you'd either get lucky or unlucky. And I had the worst hand of all. Because as soon as I woke up, our whole freaking base was getting ransacked. Somebody rushed in with a car and broke it down, and then let the zombies came in. There was gunfire and zombies everywhere biting people, tearing them limb from limb.
So you were
And
attacked.
all I was armed with, yeah. It seemed like a nearby base had a disagreement with ours. Seemed like they wanted food, maybe even wanted more. I didn't know for sure. All I know was it was chaotic, fires were spreading, and zombies were still eating people by the second. And all I was armed was with a knife and a Glock. All I could do was try to survive and get out of there. I took whatever supplies I had, killed off a couple of people that tried to come after me, and fled. And then I was on my own. Till I met you guys. At first I thought it was going to be hard to trust more people again. Would it be a harder situation than when I suffered through more? But you know, I decided to play my cards again. And it turns out, I got the full house. So now I'm grateful that I played my cards right. And now I say thank you.
I'm kind of grateful that everyone's here. So I know everybody here went through some shit after a so-called DayZ and the infection came by. And glad to have you, Paul. Even Rex over here, always watching our backs.
I heard a twig snap earlier, so that's why I'm running patrol. I haven't seen the your buddy. I think he's in his tent, so figured while his eyes are down, mine are up patrolling.
Good eyes,
Well,
good eyes.
Yeah. But I think it could just be an animal. The undead's
Edison,
not known
it's
to
been a
haunt this
while
far.
since I haven't seen you. What you been up to in the DayZ?
Oh, Ed.
Yo, Eddie, you there?
I think man's just zoomed out.
Surviving. About all any of us can do.
Yeah,
if
I
I
pray.
surviving in DayZ.
Yeah, that's all we can say. Survival of the fittest.
Shit.
It's kind of crazy because I've done some shit that I'm not proud of my own self. I have gunned down people that I was willing to trust, but unfortunately I was wrong about that. So
At least you didn't
they
get
got
fucked
what
over by some
they
people.
got what they deserved. That's all I can say. So
Yeah.
I wasn't the wrong. I wasn't in the wrong. I did the good. They tried killing me. They went for me. So
Self-defense, man.
it was either me or them, and I wasn't gonna go down like that.
What
Yeah.
battered band we be, bruised and bloody, and yet still we remain.
Bruised, bloody, cut, scarred. Doesn't matter. Through thick and thin, we find a way. That's the way us five seem to do.
We always
It's a
gotta learn to
crazy
play our
world.
cards right.
What was that,
We all
Paul?
played our cards right though.
That was
And we all managed to become survivors in the midst of all this pandemic and all this craziness that's going on.
Yeah, sometimes all I can do is just look at the sky when it rains and question why did this have to happen? But
Don't we all?
yes, we do.
Shit, your buddy Ghost there. He's not much of a talker, but
He's not a
he's helped
talker.
us keep our way around.
He's not a
I
talker.
wonder what's his
Just,
story.
just let him be. I
I'd stay with
trust
you,
me.
B.
I've been trying to ask him that for a while, since I've been with him, and he's not a much of a talker. He's just, you know, do things, keep it going. I seen that motherfucker gun down people before. He's not the one to fuck with.
Hmm.
Neither are we. We've all gunned down somebody.
Just like being quiet.
Sometimes we just enjoy it a little bit more with that of a revolver, though. Gun him as they try to run.
I
I'll
have a
admit, it's not
question.
my proudest moment.
I
What's
have a
up?
very serious question. Have you guys ever thought about gunning down a child who was
No.
just a starving wolf trying to help his family, or more specifically his own mother, who was
I had to
starving and
kill
couldn't
my own
feed
son.
herself?
That, I would say I would never have been through that.
As a wise man once said, take a son away from a father, you truly left that father nothing left to lose.
I had the gun down. Not necessarily gunned down. I had to kill my own son, so yeah.
Well, in this case, they's the zombies. They took
We
my son.
all have done evil shit in our lives, but it was order to survive. So
Yes.
I wouldn't blame Annie either of you, because y'all wouldn't be here right now next to me helping me survive.
You know, I can barely sleep.
Same here, my
Uh,
friend.
every single night when I try, I can only see my sister's face right before I shot her. Harder than anything I could ever remember. I'm still plagued by that moment where I had to kill her.
We cannot always live in the past. Sometimes we have to look at the past, see what we did, and use it to alter our future.
That is very true. That is very true. hmm Because if you keep living on the past, it's gonna eat you alive. You just gotta move forward.
You're right.
To be
At
honest,
first it will be difficult, but after a while, man,
I forgot to
you'll be
mention
okay.
about I had to kill zombies with just a revolver in my hand. I had to strike each one of them on the head with a revolver. No knife, no anything. My knife broke, so I can't really do shit. So if I even fist them in the face or punch them or anything, I would get cut. And you know what that means. If you get cut, it's scratch. You turn. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried my best. And here I am, still alive, still moving. That's why I keep myself out of the towns, which you guys already noticed, because I'm the walking bush, I would say.
More like the walking pubic hair. No offense, man.
It is what it is, man. I gotta survive.
Hey, I get it, man. I mean, if I had a choice, I'd be wearing heavier armor than this, but You gotta stay light and mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, gentlemen, all we can do right now is survive and continue to survive for all our pasts and to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So now, our next mission. We continue to do what we have to do.
I really
Yep.
respect that from you, Edison. I respect that.
You are sort of our leader. So,
Well, I wouldn't really consider myself a leader. I've let you guys down a few times.
but you always get right back up, correct yourself, and you lead us through thick and thin. I mean, when I was injured from a gunfight, who was there helping my ass move? You were. Who was the one that slapped me a fucking revolver?
Hmm.